Welcome back to Create Above and Beyond. In the last episode, we defeated the game so that I could use Elytra to use creative flight all around our world. And you'll notice this is kind of our world. It doesn't quite look right. That's because live on stream, chat convinced me it would just be a lot easier to do this in creative mode instead of flying around like an idiot in survival. And yeah, they were right. So we're going to look at what we've done, and I promise you this is not what you think it is, and then what we're doing, and I promise you that is also not what you think it is. So, I suppose for starters, this is Chapter 1. Yeah, this whole thing, this whole building, it's Chapter 1. I'm not exaggerating. This is the entirety of Chapter 1 in a 9x5 area, or at least mostly in a 9x5 area. There's some bits and bobs, but yeah, I guess I have to, I don't have it activated on this world. There. I'll activate Chapter 1 just to show it off. Everything you see here is represented here. Now, it does have a stylish cobblestone to sand farm over here, and these ender chests actually route somewhere else and do a little bit of processing over here, and then, of course, the andesite farm is obviously not going to be in there, so it's like, it's here and there, but I think it's a cute little building. I'm not a huge builder, not very good at it, but I think this is sweet. I think it's a cute little factory design. So I am going to hop into spectator mode and go over what is actually happening here so you guys aren't so confused. So to start with, we do have ourselves a sand creator, right? This ender chest coated to gray just takes in cobblestone from this igneous extruder, crushes it down into gravel, crushes it down into sand, and then goes into this ender chest, which is coated to, what is that? I think it's yellow, cyan, black for, yellow, cyan, black for sand, clay, and flint. Here, the flint is sorted out into a black ender chest, and then we have a yellow, white, and cyan to store our sand and clay. And just as a refresher, these ender chests are very special. When you dye them like this, they're accessible to other ender chests with the same dye. So you can have these basically networks. That ender chest, as you can see, the sand and clay one is here that spits out sand and clay, of course, to be washed, put into our first mixer, and this phytogenic insulator here, which is being powered from below, and then has a water source inside of this ender tank. And by the way, the ender tanks can just push water into these. It's amazing. That spits out the phytogenic insulator. It spits out kelp into here, and then, of course, the clay into there, mixes it up, spits that out into a redstone furnace. And then, of course, we have our algal bricks, and then from, like, below or in this empty space or something. I mean, you could fit, like, an ender chest with andesite in this front area, but it would kind of obscure things. You can't fit it over here, because that side's taken up. So, probably from below, we'll have andesite funneling into this, creating andesite alloy. That's going to go into this thing. It's got a drawer here, a buffer drawer. And by the way, this little sorting thing needs buffer drawers as well, as you can tell. And then into a light gray ender chest. The light gray ender chest funnels over into this deployer line, and then phytogenic insulator over here produces logs. And we get our kinetic mechanisms. So yeah, this took like 3 hours to figure out. It was very difficult, but I'm really proud of it. And if you're as impressed with this machine as you rightfully should be, and are excited to see more from this channel, do make sure to subscribe. We just passed 3,000 subscribers, but we're still going. I mean, we're still growing crazy, and I want to keep it up. How fast can we get to 4,000 subscribers? Oh, also, I designed this nice little path. And almost all these blocks are from the Chisel mod, which is a super cute mod. Makes everything look really nice. I'm proud of it. I think it looks nice. I think it looks cool. And the best part is this whole, like, crushing mill setup, that can be moved if we want it to be. I kind of like it attached to the side. I don't know. I think it gives it kind of a moving component. But even then, that would be, like, the back of it. So, who knows? Who knows? Now, on to this. This is a machine that the viewers of this series will probably recognize. It's the rose quartz machine, and as you can see, I've tried to extend the crystal crafting scenario, and it kind of works, right? Mechanical arms have sped this stuff up a lot. The crafter goes into pretty pipes and all that stuff, but unfortunately, we are deeply limited by this only being one basin. In the beginning, this was just a space-efficient machine. It was interesting. It was cool. I was proud of getting this whole process into one basin, but now it just limits the speed at which we can do things quite terribly, and it's just not good. I think we always have, like, Yeah, look at that. Look at how many excess seeds there are. This machine is producing way faster. Or this part is producing way faster than this part can keep up, and that is because the liquids are not separated. We can only ever keep 1,000 millibuckets of water and skystone solution and redstone in here, so we have to separate it. So the trouble, of course, comes that we need to completely redesign this machine, and of course we need to do it in a way that is as aesthetically pleasing, or potentially even more aesthetically pleasing, than our brick and andesite factory. I was thinking, because we need 2 liquids, right? Because ultimately the goal is polished rose quartz, which is created by mixing destabilized redstone, which is created by mixing volatile skystone solution, right? So we need these 2 liquids. So I was thinking of taking fluid tanks, because we would obviously want to store excess, and going for this like steampunky kind of design, almost like steam engine actually, and having these like 2 copper, I guess, monoliths, towers, right? Like a Tesla coil style build, right? Unfortunately, we can't make them steam engines because, you know, not the right version to create, for those who are wondering. But that would be pretty cool to have these 2 really loud, tall things, you know. Loud, large. These don't make noise. And then, of course, like somewhere in the center between them. So I guess we would want, like, space. But we need to build up one of these machines first, right? Because who knows how big these are going to be. And I'm going to try to prioritize actual aesthetic over general compactness, right? This machine, I went for total compactness, which I think creates an interesting aesthetic, right? This is a cool looking doodad and machine, but who knows, right? So volatile skystone solution is not terribly difficult. It's just 4 skystone dust and water, and the skystone dust comes, of course, from the crushing loop of skystone and skystone dust. Really not a difficult thing to do. In fact, something that can be accomplished in an astronomically small amount of space. Something that might help us is this thing called a fluid cell, which I actually just learned about. They can push and pull water, it seems? Yes, it stores and transfers fluid. So I wonder if this can push water into this guy, because that would make our life very easy. I believe that is the back of it. That should be the back of it, unless it's the bottom of it. Nope, that is the back. Okay, perfect. So if liquid goes into here, like if I take a bucket of water, it'll put it in there instantaneously. Perfect. So a basin connected to this, right, will have no problem spitting its liquid in, or this will pull the liquid into itself and spit it into here, right? And I would imagine we can put a filter modifier into this guy. No. Oh, so we can't filter it. And yeah, it doesn't look like there's a way to filter these. Dang, that's really unfortunate. Well, I don't want these to have a 2-block center. I'd rather them be fully 3x3 then, so we could get some nice, you know, symmetry and stuff. But that's pretty big. Like, to get that tall look to it, I mean, it looks cool. I don't mind it being big. I wish it wasn't so shadowy on the inside. That's very interesting that the light seems to interact with this thing. In any case, that does mean we could have the basin here, and then underneath of the ground, all the filtering and fluid stuff can be taken care of. So that's no problem. All right. Although, you know, it would be really cool if the pipes, like, extended... Hold on. Would it be really cool? I gotta think of, like... I gotta think of how this would reasonably work, right? Because... please, why will you not connect to the basin? Okay, that was really... What in the world? You can normally... What? Why will this not work? Is it getting confused by the fluid tank? Yeah, okay. This is getting really confused by the fluid tank. Alright. Very strange, but that should fix things. Perfect. So these filters would have to be here, right? But then I just had this thought of, like, pipes going up this thing, right? And connecting all at the top. I think that'd be really cool, right? And then I suppose the pump would be here. So the pipes would then come together in these framing structures and meet in the pipe. That looks quite cool. That does look quite cool. The challenge, of course, would be powering this in some nice looking way, but we could always just use the back. Because I feel like if we really want power, right, we could have 3 of these machines running, right? That is not far-fetched at all. I wish this would not do that. That's like a super... Is that like a... That's a bug. That has to be some super annoying bug. I suppose it's not the end of the world. So we'd have all these filters. And I mean, I know this is overkill and stuff, but we just don't want... We just don't want the wrong liquid to be pulled into this. This would be very annoying. Well, I think I'm hitting the steampunk vibe right on the head. And then we could even get some, you know, nice... no. We could... Oh... It'll be hard to get... Well... Does this still look nice? Stop. Does this still look nice if I make these glass? That doesn't look as cool. Okay, so I guess the decorative pipes will just have to be center line only. But that is all right. I still think that can look cool. Yeah, that still looks cool. And maybe even throw in, like, a glass on the decorative ones. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Although now that I'm thinking about it, these basins probably have to be pulled out by one, huh? Because if I power it from the front, we lose a lot of visibility. Immediately that becomes tough. Immediately that becomes tough. Because that can't be a filtered one, which means it'll pull anything. Right? I think it has to be a filter first. Right, if it's not a filter first, it pulls out wrong. Alright, we'll have to think about that. I mean, the filters can just do this, right? It could just sit one out. Okay, that's not so bad. And now for the Q&A of the day, which I'm definitely not recording in post because I forgot. This one's coming in from Spooky Skills, asking what my favorite show to watch as a kid was. It was Gravity Falls. I loved that show. I still love that show. Gravity Falls and anything adjacent to it is absolute peak. Back to the video. Oh, copper casing. Oh, I just had a thought. Copper casing might look good for the pipes. I think they have copper casing decoration in this version, right? Yeah. Does that actually look good? I don't know, actually. I think I may prefer it without the copper casing, to be honest. Maybe the copper casing goes on these corner ones. That looks cool. That gives the machine a lot more structure. These guys getting the copper casing gives it a little bit of structure, but I like the general look of this. Yeah, okay. And then brass. I don't know about brass, actually. That's kind of off. Well, it's not like I could decorate gears anyways. Might just be better to leave them as shafts and then have the one on the floor be like a brass casing or something. Okay. Because I can't use copper, right? Nope. Cool. Just want to make sure. On you, I guess we'll just have to be like this about it, right? One long shaft up the back, which totally doesn't... Yeah, from the ground, from where you're normally going to be viewing it, it doesn't show up at all. And then we just wouldn't have it show. Like, you just wouldn't walk around the back. The back is ugly. The back is functional. Now, for filling these with water, there's another question. How do we get the water and the Skystone dust too? Because that would not be a bad thing to get inside of them from under the ground, right? From underneath, that would not be bad at all. But then we need a side open for water, which means we can't have shafts there. So we could ratio these, right? We could use a gear ratio with these guys, but would it look good to have exposed cogs on this build? Maybe if I made them even? Like that? Yeah, okay. So one of these cogs will be functional. Will they all power each other? Wait, will one of these cogs power the whole... Do I only need one thing of power. No. No. That will not work. Because this cog will not power that one, correct? Like if I take a hand crank. Okay, that's unfortunate. That'd be really cool. But I could have, yeah, a false cog and a real cog. So the reason I'm doing this, by the way, is because we can now just have ender tanks, water ender tanks. Actually, I'll show you something cool. By the way, if you're ever in creative mode, you can pick block, and it'll keep the code. You can see in my little inventory. And this guy is just sucking water. These are called aqueous accumulators. It doesn't matter. These are limited by the speed of the pumps. You cannot get water into one of these faster than a pump speed, but you can have multiple. I bet we could have multiple inputs if we needed it. So what I was thinking is of having like a billion trillion water supplies. Oh, and I am actually going to destroy these so it's not consuming the water supply because, well, you know, it's not using them. So these are quite cool. You can put them back here, and that makes them decently hidden. But if you flip them into output mode, oh no, they'll push into the tank. That's not good. I know I could use like a drain, or a pipe, but that's annoying. I don't want to use that. I want to be annoyed. There we go. So we'll use the bottom for pushing with the ender tanks, which we can do with the cells as well. Like we could put a cell under here, ender tank under here, switch that to output, and then we will have this guy auto input from the bottom and auto output on the top, and then that's pretty much hidden except for like kind of a cool looking design. Yeah, okay. So that's how the water gets pushed. Nice, nice. And then here we could we could have a brass funnel facing inwards. It's a little hard to get that. There we go. We can get a brass funnel facing inwards. Nice. Okay, so now we're pretty much going to have to go underground because most of this machine is going to be put underground, which I think is very cool. Also, just had a thought, would it look better to connect these at the sides? No. Them being separate looks nicer. Yes, very nice, very nice. So here are where all the shafts come to play with each other. I suppose we could power all of them, but I don't think we should because they'll be opposite rotations, right? Oh, wait, this guy doesn't have any cogs. So I suppose the best way to power the cogs would be like... whoops. Oh, I wish it was easier to get diagonal power. Like this. Like this specifically. Belts don't work. I wish belts worked. If belts worked, my life would be so easy. But you can't diagonal belts on the floor. Well, I guess that'll have to do. It's not my favorite thing, but it's alright. So the power will come up and power this one. So this one only receives power. So this receives direct power. This receives direct power. And then this will spin with the indirect power and give this the indirect power. So we should be all good there. And then to pretty it up, like I said, we could take a brass casings and just slap it on the floor ones so that there's a nice cover up. Yes, very pretty, very pretty. Oh, right. And then this guy as well is going to need some power. Which, I guess can be given with cogs. Just like that. Not my favorite thing to do. But it works, it's easy, it's cheap for us. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Although, actually, I'm going to want a gear ratio in there somewhere. I'm going to want a gear ratio in there somewhere, so that reduces the amount. Because this is all going to have to run at 128 since these are ratioing. So, awesome. Now, how to get skystone stuff inside of these funnels? I have an idea. If we can get, like, a depot here that has skystone solution, right, then we can just have a mechanical hand deposit into these guys and have it running off of this cog to be running at full speed. And now I wonder, can a mechanical hand go through blocks? Very curious. Very curious about that, because these would be a nice flooring, you know, these would be a nice flooring. And then, of course, the question becomes, how would we even get the skystone solution onto this thing? We're working with a very limited amount of space. At least vertically. So we can get a weighted ejector that low. Okay, okay. Very limited amount of space we're working with here. Let's see if we can do this. I think a millstone is still the best. I mean, this thing runs pretty fast. I've never had an issue with it, right? Crushing wheels are, of course, better, because I can do more at once. Honestly, what I'm thinking is using another weighted ejector like that. I have no idea if that'll work. I have no idea if that'll work. But if it does, then essentially what we could do is it'll spit out the skystone dust here. That'll shoot it up to that. And then this will spit out the skystone block here and just shoot it back into itself. Right? Like that could work. It could work. I have no idea. We have no idea if any of this is going to work. But if it does, then that's this machine completed. Not too bad, honestly. Now we just need to find some place to easily power it. And of course, I see my opportunity here. We're going to just use a creative motor for now. Oh, and I'll need a wrench in case the pipes are wrong. Okay, so that's moving in the right direction. I didn't filter nothing. I didn't filter nothing. That would be Skystone. Or, Wallet. Sky. Wait. Sky Solution. There we go. Okay. Okay, hopefully none of these pipes have water in them. Hopefully not. Actually, yeah. Alright, we'll see. Okay, so that's all moving in the right direction. These guys are... This appears this mechanical is not rotating with enough speed. Huh? Really? That's interesting. I thought it would be. Oh, right. Because if this receives power from here, it ratios down instead of ratioing up. So we need to receive power from, like, this guy to ratio up. Okay. Interesting. Well, I'll do that for now. There we are. And we'll make sure that everything's still moving in the right direction. Water should not flow into this tank, hopefully. Doesn't look like it is. I should put goggles on. Okay, cool. No water. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Awesome. So now, of course, the moment of truth. Did Dejojo forget to... Wait, did I forget to power the thing? I did. I forgot to power the thing. Let's see... It'd be great to power it with a gear ratio. Oh, and I think I can, actually. I think if I put a... large cogwheel here. Oh, wait. Will this down ratio and then subsequently up ratio it? 128 SU versus, whoops, versus 64 SU. Okay, that is a gear ratio. Perfect. So, if I were to toss a skystone block... doesn't work. This blocks it. Okay. If I were to break that, it would work. But it just ends up on the depot anyways. Well, that goes through blocks. That's good to know. Okay. So that works. Wait. Hold on. I don't have to have this thing spit out the skystone thing at all. I could just leave it in there. Couldn't I? Of course, the question is, how do I get it out of this and into this? Oh. Easy, right? No, not easy. Well, should be easy, but maybe not for Dejojo's. What if I just do this? Like, is that good? Will that make it? Hope it'll make it. We'll try, though. We'll see. We'll see. It might make it. So I'll test. Okay, so that does shoot it up. And this guy will... put it in. And this guy's on round robin too, so it'll like evenly distribute, which is very nice. If I just take then a sky stone block and how would I get it in this thing without... Okay, well I have to break the depot, I suppose. So I toss you in there. Depot goes up top. You're gonna crush that sky stone. But you won't try to spit it out once you're done with it, since you can just crush it again, right? It is trying to spit it out. It doesn't understand it can crush it again. Oh, that's such a bummer. Oh, that's such a bummer. It doesn't understand. It's moved it to an output slot. Like, internally, it's in an output slot. So if I have this mechanical arm take items from the millstone and then deposit items into the funnel, and I filter specifically that, and then place... Whoop. Oh. Place it... here. No. Okay, I need to have a block for this thing to stand on. So it's saying take from here, deposit to here, place it there. Okay. Would that do it? Seems a little contrived, but... well, let's try it. I'm also going to turn this up, because I'm tired of waiting. That did it. That did it. Nice. Okay, so if I set this to a full 128... that's pretty fast. Although... not really actually that fast. Because it can only do one at a time. Does a... oh, we do need crushing wheels. Oh! All for naught! All to waste! Okay, I may have a design, assuming this thing works. I think there's a lot of jank. There's a lot of jank with what I have going on here. So I don't know if we're gonna get to where we want to be going. But we can try. Well, that's convenient. I didn't even think that would work. Wow, that's astronomically convenient. Okay. That's a good start. That's a good start. So, I guess the first thing we need to test is, does this even work? No. Okay. So that this whole idea doesn't work at all. I wish there was an easier way to send items up. Like, I know, I guess I could just do another fan. Yeah, alright. Let's do a fan and shoot system like that. Just kind of didn't want to, because it's a pain. Okay, so this fan pushes upwards, and then we need to make sure that this fan pushes upwards as well. And I'm hoping that this will do it. And that's a pull. Okay. Alright, that's fortunate. A lot of gearboxes here, but, you know, what can you do these days? Push. Very nice. Okay. So both of these are pushing. So that should mean I can toss this here. It'll get all crazied. The stuff that goes up here should be a stack of skystone dust. Okay. And then it should be crushing again. Huh. There you go. Okay, there you go. So that's that. Well, it seems like the volatile sky solution flows decently frequently. Like it's a pretty consistent amount. Yeah, that's a pretty consistent amount. Nice. Because the amount, I think it's a 1-to-1 for destabilized redstone, right? I was trying to figure out how to type it. It's a 1-to-1 for destabilized redstone, right? 250 turns into 250. And then 250 is converted once again. Oh, we need destabilized redstone for something else. So I guess it's a good thing we have this little factory going on. Where is this? There we go. And then it's 250 is what we need for polished rose quartz. And then volatile skystone solution, every time we make it, it makes 500 millibuckets. So each time we see this go up, it's 500 millibuckets. Actually, every time it goes up, it's 1,000 millibuckets. So that's 4 crafts about every second. So that's 2... so this is producing fast enough to produce 2 precision mechanisms a second. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like those numbers. I just want to use this time to say thank you so much to the members of this channel. They are helping this channel and me become closer and closer to becoming a full-time content creator. So if that's something you'd be interested in, subscribe and become a member.